here with Ryan Hall of the Syracuse Silver Knights, and just starting off here, looking at not only you as a player, but you as a coach helping out Tommy. Where do you feel you are right now in leading the team on that side, too, as coaching?
I think that whatever my experience is, going into my 9th season as a newer player, helping Tommy as much as he needs. Both, the younger guys who have inexperience and, whatever Tommy doesn't say, because I see it on the field because I'm playing as well. Wherever else I can help the team, that's kind of my role as both a player and an assistant coach.
Is it difficult to be an assistant coach and be playing the game, and as far as having the guys listen to you?
No, not too much. During the games, it's Tommy's team. Everybody knows that. So, during the games, I'm just a player. The assistant coach aspect comes into play, for free kicks and stuff when I'm on the field, and Tommy can't be as hands-on because he's on the bench. But for the most part, no, they don't really interfere with one another off the field. The assistant coach, I just do a lot of ins and outs in the office and wherever, tie up loose ends if they need help in the office. But for the most part, when I'm on the field, I'm just a player like everybody else. And then, off the field, I help out, with player personnel and whatever the guys need to kind of help alleviate that from the front office.
And how's the response from the guys when you have to be a leader and you have to coach a little bit?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's difficult because, I do also make mistakes on the field, so it's hard for me to bark at guys because sometimes I make the same mistakes. I think just from being an older player and also having experience that some of the guys, I would think would respect me for that fact. I haven't run into too many issues, so far so good.
And when you talk about player personnel, when you have these new guys coming on, what have you done to try and get them, acclimated to the team?
Yeah, well, we've got to get the guys training gear. If guys are from out of town, we've got to make sure we have apartments for them or a place to stay at least. We've got to have transportation to and from, whether it's the airport, the train station. Whether or not they need clothes, lamps, anything that the guys need just so they're comfortable, and the only thing they need to focus on is soccer. I pretty much help take care of that just so it's easy to transition for them, just so when they step on the field, that's the only thing they have to worry about.
And, having some local guys, but having a team that's really got players from all over the world, not just all over the country, hey, what are the snags that you run into when you're trying to get everybody comfortable?
There's a few language barriers. So, just to get everybody comfortable, certain guys like certain things. There's a couple of apartments that don't have lamps, just so that we got to get them light so they can see at night. For the most part, the guys are pretty easygoing. They really they want to come here and they just want to play. As long as they have a bed, or some place to sleep, whether it's a couch, a bed, and sheets and a pillow, most of the guys are pretty easygoing. There's a couple of knickknacks here and there. Some guys tend to be a little bit more needy than others, but for the most part, the guys work with us and we work with them, and whatever they need, we try to help out with.
Who's the guy that needs to have the nicest place?
Typically those who need the nicest place are those with families, but it's kind of justified. They don't want their wife and kids coming to a dirt hole, so it's typically the guys who have kids, wives, kids, but also it's justified, so it's okay that they're a little needy.
And then looking, onto the field, where's the team at right now? I mean, you just got through with a practice here, and I know you were talking a lot out there on the field with them. Where's the team at right now? Where you stand?
The team is good. It's progressing. The trade that we made, it was a dynamic trade right off the bat. The team is there. We have it. We're not quite over the hill. We still have some details we got to iron out. We got to work a lot on our free kicks and our power play, but it's there, and we have a very good team. There's no doubt about it. We still expect to make the playoffs and then some. So the team is there, but by no means have we made it. At 3-6, we still have a lot to prove, and there's still a lot of work to be done. But the guys are here, they're ready, and they're getting focused on this event.
You talk about free kicks, an area that you want to work on. You were talking to the guys out there in practice about the free kicks and where they need to stand. What is it that you need to work on the most? Is it positioning, or what is it?
It's everything. It's positioning. Whether it's defensively, everybody needs to know what everyone's job is on the field. Typically, even if you're a defender, I need to know where the targets are, where the midfielders are, so I need to know what positions they're covering, what grounds they're covering. Everybody, and it comes with experience. We still have a lot of young guys, second-year players, and we got to be responsible. Where we are positionally on the field, defensively, attacking. We got to be able to read the play, read the defense. See where the gaps are. Everybody in the field needs to be ready to shoot the ball, be ready to receive the ball. So it's just the little details that are going to make the difference between this team, being a playoff and championship, and struggling to make the playoffs.
Talk to me about Brian Perez, and we'll talk about Jamar Beasley after. But looking at these two guys that were involved in the trade, what can you say about Perez?
Perez is very technical. He's a workhorse. He brings us a lot of breakout speed. The same with Beasley. Both these guys are very good technically, and they're very good at transition. And something that we struggled with in the first few games of the season is that we would defend, we'd win the ball, but then there'd be no transition game. It'd be real slow breaking out. So Perez and Beasley both bring us a great dynamic in terms of breaking out, transition, and they're great with the ball. We know that we can play their feet, especially Brian being on the futsal team. We can find his feet. He's not going to lose it. He's got great vision around the field, and it helps us again with a threat down the middle.
And having, like you said, Brian Perez playing on the futsal team, and then also talking to me about that Nelly Santana, how important is it to have these guys that have great footwork on your team?
It's great. For us to indoor is such a dynamic, it's such a technical game, and such close confined spaces that when we have players who have great speed, great athleticism, but also combined with great technical ability, it allows us to ease the pressure of other players. If a player's in trouble, he knows he can play him a good ball, and he's not going to have to struggle to lose it or fight for 50-50 ball. And Beasley and Perez are very experienced in the sense that they know the indoor game, and so they know the angles, they know where to play, they know the runs they need to make, and it helps with the second-year players, the first-year players who aren't so sure. These guys are great mentors, great tutors of the game.
And Tommy said to me that the team's 3-6, but very well could be 7-2. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. We haven't been in one game yet that we felt that the team is overly dominated. A lot of games we are up going into the fourth quarter and we've beaten ourselves or we found ways to lose. For example, the last game against Wichita, we gave them a 3-pointer last minute. So every single game that we've lost, there hasn't been a case where we felt after the game that, man, we just weren't there tonight. So we have been on the wrong end of 6 losses, but at the same token, those could have gone either way. So that's something that's great for us to build on going into the last 2/3 of the season.
And last thing I want to ask you, Ryan, is define this team to me, who the Silver Knights are right now in their second season.
Silver Knights are very raw. I guess raw would be a great word, but also very blue collar. We have a great mix of experienced players with an unbelievable amount of inexperienced but talented younger players. They just need a little bit more gel time so we can find each other's tendencies, and just so they can experience the indoor game a little bit more so they know the ins and outs. And once that happens, this team will definitely be a team to reckon with.